We got to get to our Bills notes for you here on day 3 of training camp. And Taylor Rapp stole the ball and the show. 3 interceptions in practice today, 2 during team periods, 1 during the one-on-one session to finish practice when he jumped a route by Reggie Gilliam out in the flat. And it could not have come at a better time, because Bobby Babich addressed the media earlier this morning and said, when he was asked to assess the first 2 days, he said, we're coming along. He goes, the one thing that is not good is we only have 1 takeaway over the 2 practices. That's not good. And so here comes Taylor Rapp with 3 takeaways today to up the count. So we'll catch up with Taylor Rapp right here at the bottom of the hour. He joins us at 1:30, so it'll be nice to check in with him after such a banner day on the field. So we look forward to that conversation, along with how things are coming along with Cole Bishop, knowing there's a very good chance those two could be the safety tandem come week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. I know I just mentioned it in passing to you during practice when we were standing there on the sidelines, Maddie, but Josh Allen, elite touch and layering of his throws today. Did he have a couple of those picks to Taylor Rapp? Yes. But tight window throws today were at an all-time high. He was on point with his ball location, his touch, and layering of throws. And for those of you that don't know what layering of throws means, there are a lot of times where a quarterback, when he wants to put a throw deep down the field or between the second and third levels, he has to put enough on it to get it over the linebackers, but not so much that it gives the safety an opportunity to make an interception. So over the linebacker, under the safety, he was doing that at an elite level today.
Yeah, he had a really nice ball to Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid made a great grab and ended up turning it into a very nice gain. Allen had another one on a ball to Joshua Palmer that he basically threw Palmer open, but Cam Lewis was there with that sticky coverage, and Palmer couldn't come down with a grab. But he had some really nice throws today. The first day of training camp for the offense was a little inconsistent. They had stretches yesterday, and today you saw that finesse by Josh Allen on certain throws.
Yeah, there was one over-the-shoulder throw to Palmer that was nice that he did pull in at one point. At a different stage of practice. So it's nice to see him utilizing just about everybody in the passing game. Zach Davidson was a very busy player today. He's getting a lot of first-team reps because Dawson Knox, as we know, is still dealing with the hamstring injury. He's still on the non-football injury list. So Davidson has been a big beneficiary with the first-team unit. He had 5 receptions today. Like it was to a point where Josh was looking for him, and he is a huge target, as you know, Matt.
Yes.
He's 6'7", and he can really run for a 6'7" guy. So he was a factor today, and probably the biggest factor in the passing game.
Davidson had a couple catches in the flats there, and when you have a 6'7" human being in the flat of a football field, he sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's easy for him to pluck the ball out of nowhere and go and plow through a couple defensive players. There's no tackling right now, so you're not really trying to bring a guy to the ground, but Zach Davidson had a day. The tight ends got a lot of targets today.
Yeah. Kincaid, Davidson, even Kaliki Latu had a catch or two, the undrafted rookie. So, and Jackson Hawes factored in as well. I noticed him more in the one-on-ones than in the team session. Again, he's doing a lot of that dirty work up on the line of scrimmage. But it was encouraging to see the tight ends worked into the passing game. TJ Sanders flashed today. He absolutely abused a guard during the team session. He was past him in a blink, and he forced Mike White to have to flush out of the pocket to avoid the pressure. And I don't know whether they would have called it a sack or not. He did throw the ball on a check down, so maybe he gets that out in true live football. But it was nice to see Sanders, using pass rush techniques to get that penetration, because that's what they need him to be this year.
Sanders has been consistent to start training camp. He's a defensive tackle rookie who showed up early in OTAs and mandatory minicamp. You're doing a lot less in those practices. You're doing a lot more in training camp. But he's a rookie that I've had my eye on and has shined to start training camp when you look at the other rookie defensive linemen that he's competing with.
Yeah, and I think it's worthy to note that there are some players getting mixed in for first-team reps now as we enter day 3, and it didn't just start today. This has been happening, so there's a pattern here. And Tyrell Shavers is a player that has been rotated up to the first group. Max Hairston is a guy that's been rotated up to the first group. And then for varying reasons, like we saw Shaq Thompson get rotated up today. Javon Solomon got rotated up in the absence of A.J. Epinesa, who was a non-participant after leaving practice yesterday. Dorian Williams, also a non-participant in a walking boot out here. Hopefully that's not a long-term thing. But it's encouraging to see young players like Hairston, Tyrell Shavers, who has been toiling away on this roster for 4 years now. 2 spent exclusively on the practice squad. He finally got a major call-up last year, and in a blowout win, I think it was over the Jets, had the long 49-yard touchdown on a throw from Mitch Trubisky late in that game to kind of make it a walk and a blowout. So nice to see guys kind of working their way into more opportunities with the top group.
And this is the time during training camp to kind of mix things and match things. Bobby Babbage spoke about the opportunities that some of these guys get. Joe Brady as well, saying that this is the time to experiment with our players, figure out what we have, figure out whose role is what. And Babbage basically said the same thing on the defensive side of the ball today. Training camp is about getting that callus, is about building those relationships, and then players carving out the role that they need to have for themselves.
Up and down day for Keon Coleman. He had a 60-yard catch and run for a touchdown, but he also had 3 drops on the day. And he had some other receptions too, but securing the football, tucking it away, completing the play, it's something that's just got to get more consistent for him. And again, it's early in camp. But when you are a top draft pick, which he was last year, I know he wasn't a first-round pick, but he was their first pick in the draft, there is going to be pressure to perform and perform quickly. And we're in year 2 now, and people are expecting a noticeable step up in his performance and his consistency, and he had a tough time with that today.
I know Bobby Babbage is on the defensive side of the ball, but he spoke about younger players, having younger players on defense, and kind of the anxiety that comes along with being in a spot, having these expectations and needing to perform up to those expectations. Keon Coleman was very honest and open about his rookie season and very open about what he needs to do in year 2. You wonder if some of those expectations are in your mind as you are running a route and trying to catch a football, and you want it so bad for the kid. We're standing on the sidelines, and it's easy to cheer for the great plays, but when plays don't happen, it's tough, and you want it for these guys, and you know they're working so hard to try to get to the place where they need to be. Hopefully Coleman can have a practice on Sunday, because tomorrow's an off day where he kind of redeems himself.
Yeah, because to your point, there on a couple of the drops, he's running open. Like, he's won the route, he's created separation, he's coming across the deep middle, and Josh puts it on the money. It's a little low, maybe it's by his belt, but it's not behind him, and he can't pull it in. And it's just like, because not only would that be a first down for sure, but now he's running after the catch because he's created that separation.
Which he did last year.
Yeah, so it was tough at times, knowing how badly he wants to succeed, to not see it come to fruition.
And usually when that stuff happens, when you've ran the route, you've won against your defensive back or cornerback who's on you, and you're trying to make the catch, it's like you're thinking about running before you're catching the football, and it's like you got to prioritize the right things when the ball's in the air.
Yeah, secure the ball first, obviously. Matt Milano had a sack on a blitz today. As I said, Josh Palmer made a nice over-the-shoulder catch on a 30-yard pass play. Cam Lewis with a couple of pass breakups today. He was active and around the football. And Trey White had a nice PBU late in practice on Khalil Shakir. Shakir caught it over his head, and then Trey came in and punched it out for an incomplete pass. So good to see Trey factoring in